What's going on, everybody? It's Josh here from Dark Horse Tackle. We have a special field test report. This is field test 925. I am joined by Dave Urke, and I'm also joined by Colt Benedict of Jawtec. First up, Dave, I have a few questions for you here in my notebook. According to my notes, Dave, you have just recently caught a new PB featuring a certain bait that was featured in our September Weekend Warrior box. Do you want to expand on that, Dave?
Yeah. I was out fishing an unnamed location, and you'll never get it from me. I was just throwing around a swim jig, trying to see if I could get a bite through a follow-up bait. I had the snatch tied on because I wanted to check out my new September box. And lo and behold, I started pulling tanks off the bottom of this body of water. And so I just kept throwing it, and I set the hook one time, thought I threw out my back because my rod didn't move, and sure enough, up comes this 9 1/4 out of nowhere.
9 1/4. So you were throwing a Jawtec snatch, you said.
Yep.
I have that in my notes. Okay, so let's talk about the Jawtec snatch here. So what color Jawtec snatch were you using?
I was using the green pumpkin because I'm a basic person.
Yep, that works. And how were you rigging it?
I had a Texas rig with a 3-ounce weight on a 7.4 Dobbins jig rod.
Okay, 3 ounce or 3/8?
3/8.
Okay. I was like, man.
Yeah.
That's some action, dude.
Throwing it on my BFS rod like Zach.
Yeah. Why not? I mean, my business partner, Zach, he loves to throw heavy baits on BFS. So, Texas rig, that's a great way to rig it. And Colt, just hold your horses there. I'll get to you here in a second.
I'm waiting.
I want to go around the horn here and talk about rigging options for this Jawtec snatch. I like to rig it in 2 different ways. I love to rig it, obviously, Texas rigged, using it as a flipping bait. And I also love to use it as a trailer because it's got a ton of action. So, Dave, what is your preferred method of rigging this bait?
My preferred is that 3/8 ounce bullet weight, like I was saying. I keep my weight pegged, but I peg it about 6 inches away from the actual hook. I use a 5/0 hook.
Okay.
And covers most of the bait.
Hold on. Most of the bait. Got it. Okay. And Colt, what about you, my friend?
The way it was designed to be fished.
Yes.
So,
I actually want to get
this thing right here. So you see, it's real flat.
Yes.
That thing, and it's got a flat side to it. It's meant to be thrown on a 5/0 round bit hook. That's it. Weightless. And it's meant to be reeled around lily pads and sparse to medium heavy cover. Obviously, hardwood, those kind of things, it's hard to reel stuff through. But any sort of cover that's submergent to just slightly post-mergent, that bait right there on a 5/0 hook is just annihilates them. Trust me. I've done it. Full-blown weightless. It's a big hunk of plastic. This thing's dang near an inch wide and 4 1/4 inches long. It weighs probably a good 1/2 ounce by itself, maybe a little less than that. And it is just an easy bait to throw around, reel it around, and wait for them to expose themselves because these fish, they turn on it and you can throw it right back in there and catch them. You can even stop it, throw it in there and stop it, and they'll eat it. So it's a great way to get a fish that probably couldn't have been fished for because it's in some heavier cover. But that bait right there will get in and out of that cover easily.
So that's you're doing great here. And honestly, I owe Zach some money because I actually didn't think that's how the bait was designed. He told me that's how the bait was designed, but I had to hear it from the Jawtec man himself, Colt.
That was it.
What was the inspiration behind this design? Because you've got a lot of, I wouldn't necessarily say old school designs. It's a very Texas Western way of fishing.
Texas Western.
Yes, you've got a bunch of big worms. You've got the big worms, and then you've got the super finesse with the French fry. You've got 2 big worms. You've got a KO stick, which is a great bait. You've got some swim baits, and now we finally have a bait that I thought was a flipping bait, which I'm going to still use it for a flipping bait.
It is a flipping bait at the end of the day. So what the snatch was.
What's the inspiration?
What the inspiration was to help round out the lineup. So I always tell people we have baits that fit in multiple categories by design. It's meant to be fished in multiple different ways for multiple situations of anglers of high skill all the way to brand new anglers. Anywhere in between, we have baits that fit there. And the snatch fit into that flipping category. It flipped into the jig trailer category. It flipped into the topwater category, which we didn't have a bait that fit there. So it just makes our product line more well-rounded and allows for an angler to know that they've got people that are thinking more than just, hey, I'm going to sell you a product. It's, hey, I'm making a product that's going to make you have confidence that we know what we're producing, and it's going to be a good, well-rounded product at the end of the day.
I like that. That's, I find that to be very important because it's interesting you bring that up. I have, throughout Dark Horse Tackle, and we this is an interesting trio we've got here. We've got business owner, former consumer, still a consumer. To my right, we've got Dave, consumer, and then we've got Colt, company owner of the bait company. So it's interesting because I see a lot of soft plastic companies and they don't have the well-roundedness, like it's always like, dude, I love this guy, like I love your company. And I was like, man, I really want him to have like a flipping bait. Like I want a bait that I can put a 3/8 ounce weight on and a 5/0 hook and just beat the brush and beat the banks. You can't really do that too much with, your big worms, or you can't really do with a French fry. You could try with a punch shad. I'm sure it'll work.
That's what the punch shad was designed for. I hope
it's just never that, it's you're doing things differently than I am, and you
100%,
you're definitely
100%.
You know way more than I do because you're just the best.
No.
But
I'll go back to one more thing. So what we did as a company is we looked at this from a fishing mindset. We are anglers first. I tournament fished for a long time, and I was always looking for something I could fish it going horizontal across the bank, or I could see a piece of deep cover, flip to that, or I could see under dock, cast it under there, and never have to pick up another bait. It fits in those multiple different categories all at the same time. So that's where the Snatch and other products that we have were designed, was a fishing mindset, not a design. It has good designs, but they're not meant to be the super flashy bait that only does this. It's meant to be fished in any way you could think about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, I'm not throwing shade to anybody. It's always just one of those things, you kind of get bummed out. Because like, dude, we love you. We want to always support you. And when I saw the Snatch, that was originally my thought. My thought was I could have this thing tied on 5 different rods and fish it 5 different ways. Mm-hmm. Now you think of a stick worm. You can, but you're still running that like similar stick worm profile. You're not using it as a trailer. You're not using it as a punch bait. You're not using it as a topwater. You're using it in 5 different techniques, not 5 different, completely different presentations.
Yeah.
So that's awesome, man. I really appreciate the information that we're getting from you guys. I have a ton of notes now. And is there anything that Dave, you want to say to the viewers at home?
Go to Jawtec, pick you up some snatches. Fishing weightless, fishing with a weight. It don't really matter. I actually was thinking about throwing it on a buzzbait soon enough. Yep. I think it's the perfect profile for it. Don't forget, stop by Dark Horse Tackle. They got a website. Easy. If you don't feel like getting a monthly box to start off with, try the BYOB box. Punch shads will be in there. You can build your own box with that.
Well, the snatches, not the punch shads, but
sorry. Yeah, I'm thinking about punch shads because I need to reorder punch shads. Colt, I need to reorder punch shads, by the way.
We got you here. We have all the baits here and in between there. We can get you however we can. Trust me.
Thank you. Yeah, and I gotta say one more thing is thank you for making this bait, man. Like I flipped a lot of baits and I flipped a lot of craws in a lot of places, and this place in particular many a times, and I never pulled something like this out of there. So this is a different bait. So I appreciate you.
We're thankful for the stories. We like to help produce success stories, and us selling baits is not the success. People having success on their products is what we strive for. So anytime we get a phone call, a text message, an Instagram message, a tag on Facebook, and we get to see our product helping anglers be successful, that's all that matters to us.
Heck yes.
And
Dave,
Josh, thank you for everything you've done for me, man. I appreciate it. Absolutely.
I'm always here to give people tips, tricks, and fun things to talk about, what have you. That is if you can get a hold of me, Dave. So Dave, where can the people find you on the Instagram?
Oh, you can find me on the Instagram at Wolf of Walmart. This is Wolf_of_Walmart. Because that's basically my personality in a whole.
Perfect.
You can find me on the TikTok at The Real Wolf of Walmart because somebody tried to steal my name. And or you can call me, but I'm not going to give you my phone number.
Don't do that. Anyways, Colt, is there anything else you got for us, my friend? And where can people find you? You know, you've given us so much information.
We are Jawtec Bait Company across all of the internet. We were on board with making sure we had everything covered, and we want to hear from you. People just send us messages, ask questions, tips, words of advice outside of fishing. We're here to talk. Trust me. Like, if you just need somebody to talk to, I'm here.
Yep, absolutely. And you all know me as Josh from Josh Chitwood Fishing, but also the co-owner of Dark Horse Tackle. Dark Horse Tackle on every single platform as always. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Colt. And thank you to our loyal followers. We are out of here.
Can I get this framed? Woo! 9-pounder PB Jawtec snatch, baby. Right here. Woo! Got her. Woo!